Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm here with a special edition reading. This is Sarah, that divination witch. If you're new, welcome. This channel is where I share readings. Now, today I am here at a special place, Chillingham Castle. Chillingham Castle is said to be one of the most haunted castles within the UK. It's situated between England and Scotland in Northumberland, technically England, but it's on the border on the English side. This castle has a lot of history to it. If you look up Chillingham Castle, you will see hundreds of videos about the place. There have been big names that have done paranormal investigations here as well, TV shows, YouTubers like that Sam Colby and all this jazz. Now, I'm here today. We're at the Grey apartment. You can stay overnight here, so we will be staying overnight. But I'm not one to be all sensationalised like those sorts of channels. You know, I am a witch, I am a psychic. I don't need to do all of that, you know. Now, I've been here before and I've talked about it on my main channel, and there are a few resident ghosts. Some that I have kind of befriended in a way. There is a little girl called Eleanor. There is a man called John Sage. John Sage, he's got a big story behind him, but I won't delve into that right now. The apartment we are staying in is an apartment of Lady Grey, or Lady Mary Berkeley Grey, said to be her living quarters. Her ghost is said to haunt this castle too. And in one of the rooms in this apartment, it is said there is a little boy, the blue boy, if you look him up. Now, before I've hit record, there has been a feeling from Eleanor, the little girl, that it's Eleanor and John that I'm kind of friendly with. Not that I'm not friendly with the others, but I knew them from my last visit here and they helped me out, and yeah, I've made a connection with them. I've left them offerings, John a beer and Eleanor a teddy bear. And so Eleanor, I felt around me, and I said if she wants to come through in this collective reading, she can do. John may come through, but I do have Mother Hecate here as well. And she always is with me anyways, but I'm open to the energies. This is a bit different, like I say. So if Hecate wants to speak, she's more than welcome to, obviously. But if any of the other spirits want to speak, then that's okay too. So do you have anything you would like to say to the collective at this moment in time? Oh, maybe this is stereotypical. I feel like this is John Sage. Some people say he wasn't real, but I've felt his energy, whether he's real or not, whether he's an egregore or an actual person. I feel he was actual person. He has a bad reputation because it's said that he was the torturer of the castle, and don't dispute that, but he has helped me and he's been benevolent towards me. So his message with these cards I pulled out here was that, as cliche as it is, life is too short. First and foremost, life is too short. He is technically a lost soul and he knows this, and he is having to have atonement, let's say, for his wrongdoings, his bad doings, his misfortune, misdeeds. But life is too short, as in, you never know what's around the corner. And even when you do pass over, go to the other side, you never know if you will just move on or linger for whatever reason. This is why you must live life to the fullest. Even if he was a product of his time, You must live life to the fullest. We've got the Two of Wands reversed. You never know what's around the corner. So Two of Wands is about looking towards the future, having a plan in mind. You know, when we're alive, regardless of the time period we're from, we have an idea of what we want to achieve and what we think is right and true and what we want to do. It doesn't always go to plan, and this is why you must seize the day. That's what I'm hearing. Seize the day. Life is too short. You never know what is around the corner or what you're going to be, you know, forced into doing, blamed for, anything like that. Now, we've got the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups is overthinking and dwelling. Too many people do not take action. Too many people ponder decisions in life, hope and dream, think in a modern context, or if I won the lottery, I would do this, or if life was different, I would have been here, or whatever. We can have regrets, but we must also seize the day still, you know, and we must also live in the moment, live towards the here and now. We have the Seven of Swords, which is standing up for ourselves, and I think, in a sense, as ironic as it is for what he is said to have done and who he is said to have been, I feel like he wishes he stood his ground more. I don't think he wanted to be the person he turned out to be, but that's life. That's how he turned out to be. I think there was something in his life he's putting in my mind about regrets, about leaving behind a woman. You see, it's said that he was a womanizer, apparently. I don't know the full ins and outs, but he left somebody behind to come here. He left a life behind that could have been more peaceful, happier, and less painful. Because it was painful for him too, although, yes, you know, he didn't do the best of things. He has a lot of burdens. We've got Four Pentacles reversed, Ten of Wands. Four Pentacles, normally, when it's upright, is having everything you could ever want and need. I don't think he was ever truly happy with what he had. He just made do with it. It doesn't mean he liked it. And so, in a hopeless situation, some people react in ways that are heinous, you know, the ways that they themselves wouldn't really react. Like all this stuff, it was said that he was the castle torturer, you see. And it's like making the best out of a bad situation. It's like becoming a sadist to get some sort of pleasure, some sort of control out of things in his life that were out of control. I mean, if you watch movies like end of the world movies, I'm thinking of someone like, you know, the supervillains in Batman and stuff, even though that's not quite the end of the world. But, you know, some of the supervillains are kind of relatable. The Joker, he's being put in my head. The Joker was somebody that did heinous things and kept doing heinous things, and he kind of cracked and enjoyed hurting people. He enjoyed playing tricks on people, and it's kind of like John had his own Joker stage, you know, in life, and that's what's made him into a lost soul now, that he cracked and he took pleasure in it in the end. Doesn't mean it was the right thing to do. He knows that, and he's paying for it on the other side. But that's the burden. That's the Ten of Wands. The burden he now lives with. It's like you reap what you sow in this life, you really do. So if you're a good person, if you try your best, all right, yeah, bad things can happen to good people, yes, but if you have good intentions, and I know good intentions don't mean everything, but if you are being honest and trying, even when shit hits the fan, so to speak, you know, you are coming at it from an honest and pure intention. So people like Hecate or your God or whoever and whatever you believe in, the universe, judges you as such. It, she, he, whatever you want to name it, knows. It knows when you're honest and true and when you're not. It's so easy to succumb to darkness. It's so easy to just, in many ways, it doesn't have to be as extreme as like hurting people, like John. But it's so easy to just wallow in negativity and get swallowed up in the darkness, in that, because it's like the path that is kind of like more travelled. I was going to say the path less travelled is standing up against, like, if the energy around you is very negative and a lot of people around you are pretty negative, and like, come on, look at the state of the current world. It cycles repeating. I've talked about this before on my channels. It's easier to succumb to the flow, like a river, it's easier to go with the tide, with the flow of the river, than against it. And to stand is to be stalwart. That's the word I'm hearing to use. It's like standing strong and stoic in who you are and what you believe. And in a sense, although he was a powerful man in rank, in money, in respect by others for what he did, and I'm getting a random smell of perfume there, although he was physically a strong man, and maybe in the physical world as well, had respect from his peers, not from everyone. A lot of people feared him, but that respect in a certain way. I think he regrets not respecting himself, as in living his purpose and his truth. But in that day and age, if he was to stand against the flow of the river, he would be washed away eventually. It would be by hook or by crook. He would be tried as a criminal. A lot of the things he did, although he relished them in the end, it was like, if you can't beat them, join them, is the sentiment. Though he may have relished some of the things he did, it's very much a case of, if I didn't do them, I would have been killed, It's said that, and he's confirming in my mind that it's true, that he sustained an injury in battle. So in that day and age, that's like, well, you're useless now, so you'd be put down like a lame dog. That's the words. He wasn't wanting that. Of course not. No one wants to be put down like, you're just useless, let's discard you now. And that's how he was made to feel, useless. So you can't beat them, join them. And what he wishes he did was essentially be able to, when he was younger, stand his ground and not go down that path anyway, to not be a soldier in that way and have a simple life, a happy life, maybe work the land or had a family, things like that. I think he left behind a woman and a family, potential to have children. He never had that, and I'm not condoning what he did. If you look him up as the torturer, that's not something I'm going to condone. I guess that's, for me personally, he's saying, you see the good in everyone. Maybe I do. Maybe that's my trauma speaking. Even spirits like him. But from my last encounter with him and with Hecate's blessing as well, like, he is a lost soul that has to repent. When people who are religious talk about going to hell, etc., he has done that in his own way. He has had to relive things and experience pain that he inflicted. And now it's like he's one of the guardians of this place, of this castle. And his job is as a protector. And I don't think he likes the reputation he has, but he has to accept it, What will you be remembered for is what he is telling me to tell you. Think about your life. What will you be remembered for? And if you could time travel, what would you want it to be, versus what will it be? Be practical about this, Sometimes priorities, things outweigh each other. You need to really think about where your priorities lie. Easy life or difficult life, but being true to yourself. The Fool, suspension reverse, which is hangman reverse. Yeah, as long as we draw breath, we have the chance to change things in our life. If there's anything you're unhappy about, change it, okay? As long as you draw breath, you have a chance. It might not be the chance you want. It might not be everything you want, but what you want and need are two different things in a way. But you can still change things around, you know. You don't have to forsake yourself. Hanged man, or suspension in this case, reversed. And that is looking at the things that hold you back in life. You know, your worries, your fears, traumas you can't move past. This is shadow work and trying to move past, you know, your limitations in a way. So you always have a chance to try and do that. You might not get to where you ultimately hoped and dreamed, but it can be a better place, because remember, well, what do you want to be remembered for? Is there anything else you would like to say just before I close the reading? The sun. Even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. And I did a reading with him earlier, actually, just for me, just saying hello, sort of thing. And he said that straight away, darkness, but in the darkest of times, there is always hope. And I feel he is a strongly resilient man. And I hope he can atone and move on and find peace and happiness. And as a Hecatean and doing what I do with Hecate, and I've spoke about lost souls on my other channel, like, I don't want anyone to be a lost soul. I don't want to be a lost soul. I wouldn't want anyone else to be one, you know. So just try your best. I feel like that's the message. And especially in this day and age and what's going on in the world, that's the best thing we can do. Try our best and be authentically you, and don't be bullied or coerced into being something you don't necessarily agree with, you know. And yeah, I feel like that's that. So I hope this helped. Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, all that jazz. It does help the channel grow. I will be filming more things here while I'm here. And yes, until next time,